been burning there for some time. But today we see everything.
Cards all folded, saints we see all made of.
Oh, we come over to Armando's house for breakfast.
I gotta give.
Nice.
For you, it's
I'll think about getting chickens myself.
you don't like it.
Bro, this is
I just opened up the tractor, just out of my house.
Wait for real?
Yeah.
Go check that place out then. Thank you so much.
I tried it, but it was on a weekend.
All right, guys, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say, not just guys. Maria, is it Rab Meats? Is that how you say it online? Volume is muted. I don't
No, we got it here.
Yes, please.
Okay, awesome. So today we're going to talk about Ignite Session 10, keep every lead. Pretty much how to turn your probable business into profitable business, right? And so before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, so you know. I think I know everyone here. We've seen each other a couple times. What was your name?
Samara.
Samara,
Linda?
Rosalinda, what was your name? Ariana, Jasmine, Brendan, welcome. My name's JD. I've been a realtor for 16 years, licensed 15. I shadowed my uncle for a year. So I've been at 16 years. I've been with this office, Keller Williams, 10 years. So April this year will be my 11th year. Last year was my 10th year. So we've been with us for 10 years. I have taken Ignite, Bold, 3612. I mean, I've taken so many different classes. This class specifically, Ignite, this is actually the second version of Ignite. So I have taken the first version too many times to count, I don't even remember. I've taught it even more times. The second session, I think this is probably my 8th time teaching classes. So I know it very well. I know the material very well. I think they explained to you guys in the beginning, this class is designed to get you guys to CAP, okay? Some stuff that I kind of specialize in is definitely lead generation. When I first moved from Iowa to California, I didn't know anyone. So I had to build a business off of strangers. I didn't have family and friends to refer business to me. So I'm very good at lead generation with sphere of influence. Now my sphere, majority of them are just past clients. You know, I have a small set of group of family, all my friends. I got into real estate as soon as I joined here, so all my friends are actually realtors. But the funny thing is, a part of my business is realtor referrals. That's a big part of my business. So, getting business from your sphere, getting business from expireds, for sale by owners, cancels, open houses, door knocking, circle prospecting, social media, events, charity, community, to list a few things that I have experience with in finding business. So we're going to talk about that today. But at the end of the day, I have been an agent, a single agent. I've been on a team. I've been in a partnership. I ran my own team. I've been a member on a team, and now I run the All-Star Group. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions on me and who your instructor is going to be?
Pretty cool.
Okay. So today what we're going to talk about is lead follow-up. What do you guys hear when I say lead follow-up? What does it sound like? There's no wrong answers either. What do you guys think?
Contacting the same people.
Contacting people. At basic form, that's definitely what it is. Lead follow-up. What are you laughing about, Ariana? What do you think over there?
Check-ins?
Check-ins? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, rarely do I have people where I call them the first day and they're like, yep, I want to buy today. Sign me up, or I want to sell, right? So you got to follow up with them. So check-ins. What else? Do you think that all leads that you're going to talk to are going to buy within the next 6 months? No. Well, are there some that will? Most definitely. Right? Sometimes they don't do anything for 10 years. The longest I had to follow up with the lead, this is my record, is 7 years. The gentleman's name was, I'm going to forget it now, but I met him at an open house. I met him one time. He gave me his phone number and his email. And I remember he was from Texas. His family had just moved here. He worked for the electrical lines. He worked for Edison. He actually rode a helicopter. His commute was on a helicopter because he would have to go to the rural parts where there wasn't roads, and so they would tether him to a line and pick him up by a helicopter and take him to work. Really cool guy, he got paid a lot of money. And I met him once, I remembered all that information, I wrote it down, I put it into my CRM at that time, and I put him on a drip campaign. This was before they had like all these follow-up systems. And so I put him on a drip campaign, or you guys know what reverse prospecting is, or auto prospect? You type in their criteria. He was looking for a certain kind of house, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. You type that in, you set him on it, and then as soon as a home hits the market, it'll send it to him. And so I had him on that thing for 7 years. For the first 4 years, I would call him. Right after that, I had a system. I'd call him, you know, once, twice, 3 times a week sometimes. And I did that for about 3 or 4 months. And after that, I did it once a month. And I did that for 4 years. He never answered my call. Always opened my emails. And this went on for 7 years. After 4 years, I didn't call him for another 3 years. But my emails kept going out.
How did you know he was opening and looking at your emails?
It'll notify you and say, hey, such and such has opened your email. And so he opened the email, and then he called me, and he was like, hey, I don't know if you remember. And I was like, I sure do. I can't remember his name right now, but it stuck with me forever. I was like, I sure do. You're the guy from Texas. You're the electrical man. You fly the helicopter. You got a family. This and that. So long story short is, you know, sometimes leads don't purchase right away. Sometimes it takes time. And the way you develop a really good business is you fill your CRM with people like that. And before you know it, you're having transactions and opportunities that are coming your way that you planted 7, 10 years ago. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you plant, you know, 1,000 in 1 year or 5,000 in 1 year, those will show up years later. Does that make sense? Okay. How's you guys' success system been? Have you guys talked about that? Do you know what it is? No? Oh man, these instructors, let me tell you. They should be asking you about the success systems. I believe it is 10 thank you cards, 10 new people added to the database daily, 10 follow-up calls. I think it's 5 likes, 5 comments, 10 homes previewed. Does any of that sound familiar?
Yes,
Yeah,
like
so
that
that's
has
supposed to be-
been a success of it.
There you go. That's supposed to be your success system. So have you guys been following that? Have you tried it out yet? What are your thoughts around it?
Well, I've done some of it. I've done like the likes and a couple calls a day, but you know, no luck so far.
What was that? So you've done some of it, but no success so far. Is that what you said?
Yeah, but you know,
Okay.
obviously it takes time, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. Could take 7 years. Could take a few months or a couple days. You never know.
Yeah.
That's why we add to it daily. Okay, so I hear that you're trying some of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else? Anyone have any wins with it? Any successes with it? JD, I'm just scared to do all of it. When I took Ignite the first time, I BS my way through the whole class. I would tell people I was making phone calls, and I really wasn't. And then I got to a point where I was doing it, but I wasn't doing it 100%. And then when I realized, if I just start to be upfront, you know, judgment-free zone, and just let my guard down and be willing to just be open to hearing everything and knowing that I don't know everything, and being vulnerable, I really got down to the root of things and was able to start to actually find some success. So, what is it? You know, if you are doing it, what is going great? If you aren't doing it, what's getting in the way?
I think to me, I think there is a lot more engagement. And as I'm learning strategies from all the instructors that we're having,
love
like
that. Yeah.
it gives us ideas. To me, it's like this huge puzzle, and I'm getting a piece every day, and just connecting them together and learning. Oh, we could do that. Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
That's something we could do. So the language of real estate, for me, is pretty new, all of it.
Okay.
But just watching you all instructors have different strategies, different ways of dealing
Doing
with
business.
your business. I think for us is, to me, the reason why I'm not putting everything in place yet is because I'm still in the learning process
okay.
and incorporating concepts daily. So I
Okay.
think that the strength with me will be when I feel that I understand a process from the beginning to the end, and that'll really help out.
I understand that 110%. So I appreciate you sharing that with me. number one. And sharing it with us as a group, because it's not always easy saying, hey, look, this is what's going really well, this is how I learned, but this is how I have challenges. So kudos to you, that's awesome. Would you allow me a coaching moment?
Of course.
Okay, so what I heard you saying was, I love all the new strategies that I'm learning, and it's so much. Sometimes I'm not getting all of it. What I'd like to do is get into a position where I'm confident and know everything, and then I'll start to get more involved with what I need to do.
Yeah, just like I'm learning your scripts, like
Yeah.
I'm printing them out and I'm
Yep.
studying them.
Yeah,
And that's opening up my mind to things that I couldn't understand before.
I got it.
So I think that, to me, once it's consolidated, I'll feel a lot more,
Yeah,
I would say confident
yeah,
to pick up the phone and make a call, even though I know I'm gonna make mistakes, but I have a wealth of knowledge that I have accumulated through
Yeah.
listening to all of you, and that will help me feel less, anxiety or stress level in those
question
calls.
for you. How do you find out if you're ready?
I just, like, I started using social media, and these successes things are
Yeah.
the steps. Like, I'm taking risks every day on different things that you guys are teaching, so the more I do
Yeah.
it, the more comfortable I feel.
Do
doing
you, does everyone know what archery is?
archery.
Yeah, our target practice was shooting,
Yeah.
right? What's the goal? You wanna shoot something down there, right?
Practice.
Is it a target? Yeah, it
It's a
takes
target.
practice.
Right.
But now, what happens if I have the target down there, right? And I'm aiming, and then I think I got it on target. When do I know I'm right on?
You just gotta do it.
You gotta do it, right? So in the MREA, what you're describing is called ready, aim, but you don't fire. So Rosalinda, you're probably telling yourself, I need more info. You might be right on the bullseye.
Okay.
You don't know until you pick up the phone and try the scripts, and you're like, man, I actually know these. Or you're gonna say, you know what, I need to work on this. 15, 16 years in the business, I'm doing that every day. Learning something new. Right now, I'm learning Zillow scripts. So, But I've come to find out, because I used to do that. I used to do the ready, aim, and I said, when I'm ready, I'll shoot. And then I realized, even though I was doing all this work and preparing to get ready, guess what, I didn't know everything. So I would spend a couple weeks mastering something, and then I'd go do a phone call, and I'd be like, wow, that was horrible. This is where I need to practice. I thought I knew it. And so it's never perfect, it's always a work in progress, but you make it better by actually getting out there in the field and applying what you're supposed to do. So I would encourage you, stick to that, to the success system. You know, they say that, what is the worst form of knowledge?
When you know what to do and you don't do it.
Absolutely, unapplied knowledge. So this class is meant to be a class where the things they teach you, you go and implement. Amy likes to read books with the intention to implement. Meaning she'll learn something, and that day she'll say, how do I use that new skill today? Right? So that's the same thing with your success systems. You have to do them. If you're not doing them, there's something that's keeping you from it. And with your accountability partner, with your coaches, your mentors, whoever you're working with, your team leaders, discuss that with them. And say, hey, look, I was supposed to talk to 10 people yesterday, I didn't do it, and I'm not sure what's going on. You know, us as coaches and mentors and team leaders, we've had the experience, so usually we know what you're going through. But even though we know what you're going through, we have to help you self-discover. Because deep down inside, you know why you're not doing, or you are doing them, right? Sometimes we need to self-discover and just admit ourselves, hey, this is why I'm doing so great, or this is why I'm having challenges. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, when I was doing, like when I told you I wasn't doing the calls, my fear was fear of rejection. I was so scared I was gonna get rejected. Or I was gonna look like a fool, I was gonna be embarrassed, I was gonna say the wrong thing. And so, once I learned that part about me, I learned that I was always gonna have that fear. But then I had to tap into my big why and say, well, what's worse? You know, continue going down this path, or do I go take a little bit of risk and then get a lot of bit of reward, right? It might feel like I'm hammering this away. The class asked me to. It's one of the most important things when it comes to it is your success systems. Make sure you're doing them, okay?
Yes.
Well,
No,
I
no.
feel like
Yeah, sure.
every
let's go.
person that I talk to,
Uh-huh.
the handful that I've spoken with, tells me like oh, in a year, like I talked to one person, she was like, oh, my dad's wanting to sell his house here and purchase a home in Oregon
Yeah, awesome.
within the next year and a half. Everyone I speak with is like, either they wanna sell eventually or purchase, or they are afraid of the interest rates.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. I would say that that's usually how it is. You have an opportunity there. I heard there's objections in there. I heard two things. It sounds to me like what you're saying is, hey, I've talked to people, but they might be a little bit further out. I'm not sure on time frame, but it doesn't seem like right now. And then there's some pushback on the rates. Those are objections. Yeah, we're gonna talk more about. Yeah, scared. We're gonna talk more about that here in just a second. So awesome. Sounds like you're having conversations, at least doing some of the success system. Continue to do it. If make sure to meet with your accountability partners. Double check. Make sure you meet with them. If you don't have one, go check with Garrett, Iman. They're great accountability partners. Jasmine, did you have a question or were you just rushing? What's up?
Sorry, I'm gonna go back to like kind of the beginning.
Yeah.
You said that on command you can check how you if they read the emails. How do you do that?
Cool. There's a portion in here where we're gonna talk about smart plans, and in there I'll hop into my command and I'll show you guys some of that.
Okay.
So what I was referencing in that conversation was the reverse prospecting or auto prospecting. That's actually in Flex MLS. So I'll show you that too. But in command, if they have your KW app, when they go look at houses or they heart houses, you'll see it in command. So even though we didn't talk about command, yes, there is a feature in command similar
so
to it.
what you were saying was in Flex MLS. That's where you could read the emails.
Yeah, and they both, command and flex will both notify you that they've opened your emails or running research.
Oh.
But the one that I was talking about specifically is flex, and I'll show you both of them.
Okay.
It's part of lead follow, it's part of the system that we have to stay in front of people. Today we're gonna talk about keeping every lead. Do you guys think that the people you're talking to, just because they talk to you, they're gonna be 100% loyal and sign up with you right away and client for life?
No.
No. You gotta earn that. We do that by following up with leads, strengthening our relationships. We're in what kind of business?
The business of building relationships.
Relationship building business. So how do we strengthen those relationships? What type of things can we do to strengthen our relationships? And then the last one is qualifying potential buyers and sellers. That's what you were describing. You're like, JD, I got this opportunity, I'm just not sure where it's gonna go. So first thing is gotta qualify them. Okay. So today, by the end of the day, we're gonna talk about the benefits of actually using a system to follow up with your leads. Does anyone have a system where if you come across anyone, they don't have to be buying or selling, it could be mom, dad, buyer, seller, open house lead. Do you guys have a follow-up system in command for that yet? Okay, by the end of this class, you'll understand and at least learn 2 of them by the end of it, okay? Super easy to do too. One of the campaigns that we're gonna talk about is apply 19 to connect. So 19 touches. Do you guys know what a touch is? Okay, give me some examples.
When I call or I text,
Call, text,
send email,
send email. Hey, how you doing, Ariana?
send,
You doing good? I'm having a pet adoption festival April 20th. Can you come? Is that a touch? Yeah. Anytime, face-to-face, phone calls, texts, emails, postcards, inviting people to events, holding raffles, newsletters, all that stuff. So we're gonna learn how to take all of those touches and put them into a system so you can communicate with your clients over the next year. We wanna do what's called cementing the relationship. What does that mean?
Strengthening?
Yeah. Is cement strong?
Yes.
If it dries around something, is it pretty hard to get it out?
Hard to get it out.
So we want to cement our relationships. We do that by touches. Statistics show that most agents will only reach out to leads or prospects 1 or 2 times. It's a crazy statistic, it's like 80%. 80 or 88? 80 or 88% of realtors give up after the 2nd attempt. And then it is 80% plus buyers and sellers actually don't make a decision until the 7th contact.
yeah. Yesterday I closed a deal that I've been in contact with this client for almost 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
He referred me people in the past. He never did business with me. He was referred for a private client, and for one reason or another, he wasn't ready to buy. But I keep in touch with him for all these 7 years. And finally, at the end of the last month, we put an offer on a property, and we just closed yesterday.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I love those success stories. Okay, guys. So I want to tell you it is about 8:32. 8:35. We'll take a few minutes. I want you guys to partner up with either people in front of you, groups 2, 3, 4, or next to you. 9:35. We'll end it at 9:35. I want you guys to write down 2 or 3 questions that you're looking to have that either wasn't answered in the past Ignite or that you want to have answered in today's Ignite. Okay? So go ahead and partner up and write down your answers. We're going to share a couple before we'll move on to the next one. I'll go with you, Nate.
Oh, shit. Let's do it.
Oh, Zoomies, go ahead and just type in some questions into the chat, okay? What you got?
All right. Honestly, not really.
Any kind of question?
That's coming to my mind immediately. Maybe, you said you're gonna show some examples of systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about systems or you say like one question?
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to set this up right now.
Would it be
I
like,
know I need to develop my systems more.
okay, so what's keeping you from developing?
Alright, so I'm gonna organize. Maybe how about that? How to
Okay.
organize the schedule a little bit better.
Okay. How to organize my schedule a little bit better. Is that right?
That's a good one, yeah, because that's something I'm still developing, as I told you.
I guess
I think they do have to make account. I know that there's a link like KWAV.
it's 24. Yeah, ultra.
I got an old version.
I am curious about what
There's 2 questions, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3 questions for each one.
I like to buy my
Yes, sir.
like every 2 years.
It's a hard one for me. It's a hard one for me right now, I'm not gonna lie to
So
you.
this class is
Yes,
specifically how do you follow up? What is the follow-up? How do you follow up? What about after you follow up?
And so you like when they download
But he asked us 3 questions. That was in
I wish I could tell you how to answer the question.
Let's go with
It's a little boring.
it. More comes out right now.
Alright, for sure.
No,
I think we gotta create.
Alright, Zoomies, I needed 1 from you. There's 3 of you on there.
we have the classes. That we it's part of career.
So some questions you might be asking yourself is, what does a top producer's league follow-up look like? JD, what does your follow-up look like? How do I start my follow-up? Where do I start?
Social media.
how do I become a millionaire?
Keep every link.
How do I close my first deal?
From these classes, you have any questions?
Are you? Any questions?
Something that you say,
I organize my
oh, I wanna
schedule a
ask
little
this
bit
about
better.
it.
Follow-up schedule.
Yeah.
It's good. About you.
Do what?
How do you know? How they make the smart smart?
Yeah, I just come for the gold nuggets.
Yeah, the command. So you go to command.
Maybe like how to follow them a little bit better, I think is.
Yeah, I just, cause I feel like I don't really, once they don't answer me, like, I'll just stop there, you know? So that you can be like on there, until they're like, okay, how, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
So, that's how,
Did you click on that link?
It's a good question.
Click on it. I want to see what it looks like on your side.
yeah. You don't have any questions?
Just that, just English, how to better structure follow system. That's the only thing I can come up with.
To like search right away.
Alright, 1 more minute, guys.
That's it,
You have an account already logged in though, huh?
I don't know, repeating the same thing and or looking.
Probably just the ones I asked to do, like, how you check with the emails.
Zoom, I didn't see anything. Any questions online? So I'm assuming you know everything.
Yeah, so I know a lot
Okay.
of how to cook easy.
So let's share some questions, guys. Let's hear 2 or 3. Who's got a birthday coming up? No one's got a February birthday? March birthday?
March
April?
is my cousin.
Okay, we'll go with that. You go first. Gloria, what's the question? What question do you have?
Okay, how manage time better? How to manage time better?
Ooh, good, awesome, I like that. How to manage time better.
It was from her.
Good. We will be discussing that. So we will be discussing that, but managing your time better is all about time blocking and a calendar. Right? And so your next question is, well, how do I time block and what is that? What do I put in there? Time blocking means, I'll show you a quick, I'll show you my calendar so you can see how it's time blocked. Mine is gonna look a little different than agents. Mine used to be a lot more lead generation heavy. Nowadays, I only lead generate for 1 hour because I have an entire team that's providing me with leads. So I spend 1 hour just going over the leads the team sends to me. So you'll see, time blocking is selecting your activity that you're gonna do, and then you block it in your calendar, and during that time, that's what you do. You don't do anything else. So I have like yellow. Yellow is always knowledge. It's knowledge based. Knowledge or free time. Green is lead generation, money making activities. Purple is stuff that I do with the team. Red is seller appointments, listing appointments, or something important. Blue is buyers, but I don't do buyers. I have some. But that's time blocking. I actually have a top producer's calendar.
JD, I have a question.
Yeah, ask away.
You know, sometimes I do a task and then like my mind wanders off.
Yeah.
How do you like stay on track?
So the challenging thing with that is, I think a lot of it comes down to personality, like habits, right? So I'm an ID. I'm very short, very goal oriented, very direct. Sometimes I come off as rude because I'm very short. And that's not my intention. I'm just more to the point. I also don't like to be behind a computer screen too long. I don't like to be alone too long. I like to be in front of people and talking to people. So
High
guess-
five there.
Yeah, right? So guess what? When I'm doing my lead gen, you know, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do another call. Maybe they pick up, maybe they don't. That's the last thing I wanna do. I wanna go to the coffee maker and go sit down and talk to people as they come in.
And
you
sit on
know?
the front desk.
Sit at the front desk. So you have to be aware of your strengths and weaknesses. So the way I do that is I remind myself, like, okay, I know I don't want to do it. I'm just gonna be real. I know I don't want to do this. It's gonna be a chore. It's gonna suck for whatever reason. And then I remind myself, well, why do I want to do it? What's the results? What happens when I do lead generate?
You reach your goals.
You reach your goals,
Those goals that allow you to reach your dreams.
allow you to reach your dreams. You get to live the life by design, not by default. You know, it's not even about the money. I always tell people, everyone's like, well, I want money. And I'm like, okay, well, let's say that you make $1 million, but you can't spend it at the end of the year. You can never spend it. You can make $1 million, but you can never spend it. It's worthless, right? Can't do anything with it. So it's not the money. It's just what the money does for us. So then I remind myself of that all the time. Like, okay, I'm ready to go now. Some of us is, you know, there was, a mom said this one time. She was like, I want to be the woman that my girls will be proud of. I want them to grow into be a woman that I'm about to be, right? So it's like, well, what is it? What's your big why? I think in session 1, you guys went over that, right? So remind yourself of your big why every time you go to do your lead gen. So this was mine when I was working as an agent. So the mornings was always, I practice Miracle Morning. So Miracle Morning is always about growth and feeding me. So that's yellow. Scripts, I did scripts. I still do scripts for about an hour a day. I do a quick team meeting, and then I did 3 hours of lead generation. First hour was expireds, FISBOs, canceled, and then database and cultivation, and then circle prospecting.
You wake up at 3:30 in the morning?
More like 4. This was when I was running my own team, a different team, and I didn't have enough time in the morning because once the team comes in here, it gets pretty busy. And so I needed like an extra half hour, so I woke up at 3:30. I did it for 6 or 7 months. I wake up at 4. I wake up at 4 every day. I can naturally do that. It's my what's it called? Circadian rhythm?
Circadian rhythm.
Circadian rhythm. So I can wake up with an alarm clock or not at 4 o'clock. The 3:31, that takes effort, and I can only do that for about 6 months because then I'll physically crash.
What time do you go to sleep at night?
10 o'clock. The Lord blessed me with two things. I can drink water. I love water. I hate soda and stuff like that. I love water. And I get good sleep. I can sleep on the floor. I can sleep on the table. I can sleep anywhere.
That's great.
And I literally, I get in bed at 9, and I say, okay, time for bed, and I just close my eyes.
Damn.
No, we're in sleep, I'm telling you. But I turn everything off too. I've learned there's things that I need to do to help me fall asleep. So I eat around 7 or 8, and I kind of follow the same schedule.
You still
I
single,
wind
right?
down around 9, and what's that?
You're still single, right?
For the time being, yes.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. I go to sleep.
Limited belief. Limited belief. Because I have a friend named Juan Fernandez. He used to work at Costco. He's full-time now. He lived in California City. He would work here in the office from 7:30. He would meet me at the gym at 5 o'clock. He'd go shower. He would meet me here. Ariana's seen this. He would get here at 7:30 for scripts. And then he would work from here till about 4 o'clock, and you go to Costco at 5. And you get off Costco at 10, drive back up to Cal City at 11, be in bed at 12 to do it all over again. And he has a daughter, by the way.
Okay.
Single, too. Don't give me any excuses. I think it's BS.
Yeah,
You just don't want it bad enough.
I go to sleep at 10 p.m. and at 6 when my alarm goes off. I'm so tired. It's like, no.
You know what really helps me get to bed early, too? Wake up at 4 o'clock, you'll be tired by 8, I promise. But the hard thing is you gotta fight for it every day. I've never woken up and been like, man, this feels amazing. Every day I'm like, God, I wish I could get 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes. The pain is still there. Just what do you want to fight for?
Because I pass out when my head hits the pillow most nights. But it's just, I feel like there's not enough hours in the day, and I wish I could wake up that early and do stuff.
You could. I think it's totally possible. I don't think it's easy though.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
And there's always a heart to every decision you make. It's hard to get up. It's also hard to look myself in the mirror when I don't. I prefer to fight with the hard and be proud of myself.
True.
Okay, so I heard time schedule, time blocking, how do I manage my time? What else? Give me one more question.
How to follow up without repeating the same thing and or looking.
Oh, I love that. So how not sound like a robot and kind of just same thing. Hey, do you want to buy or sell? Hey, do you want to buy or sell?
Yeah.
Change it up, right? Yeah, so those are called mofers, or you learn strategies to do different things. When you're in this business, people will naturally just start to know that you're in real estate. They'll see your social media posts, they'll see your successes, the conversations you're having. I've been doing it so long, I never ask anyone, hey, do you want to buy or sell? I have learned to practice the Ford script, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And so I always ask about work. Why do I do that?
So they ask you?
Yeah, it's just human response. It's nature. I'll ask them, hey, how's work going? And they'll tell me. I'm like, oh, great. Well, I hope you're spending some time to, take some time off to have some fun with the family or stuff like that. Like, yeah. What about you? How's real estate? Oh, cool. Glad you asked. Gotcha. So it really is about scripts and messages.
Yeah.
And we're going to teach you guys how to set up different touches. Like, you can just call and wish them happy birthday.
Yeah.
Send them a text, happy birthday. Have an event, do a home buyer seminar, invite them to career night. We have a free real estate school.
And events in the community, things that are for free for the families.
Yeah, we're doing a pet adoption festival April 20th.
Here in Fonda, we have what we call it Park After Dark. And every weekend, the parks on this area has an event, different events. So find out what is hosting you, nearest park or the park that you.
Yeah, or you can open up KW Your Way every week, and every week we spotlight an event that's going on in Lancaster or Fonda.
Yeah.
Okay, so who can define a lead? What's a lead?
This is somebody who is interested in real estate.
Anyone that's interested in real estate? What else?
Opportunity.
Opportunity? Yeah. I think a lead is just someone that is interested in a service that you can provide. Right? As realtors, what kind of services do we do? We think real estate right off the bat, right?
No, we do multiple services.
Yeah. I was a mover last Monday. I help people move. I'm the guy that everyone goes to when they have a question just in general, like, hey, JD, who do you know? Because I always tell people I have a vendor list.
Yeah.
Like, we need a barber to a daycare center to a mechanic. I got you. I got a list with what we call the 5-star service. We've either worked with them and given them 5 stars, or someone we know has worked with them and given them 5 stars. So they come highly recommended. So it's a lead that reaches out for your services, and just be open-minded a little bit. It's not just about real estate. Some people combine businesses. Anyone in here combine businesses? No? I combine hobbies. I go shooting all the time. Everyone called me like, JD, where do you get the cheap bullets at? 'Cause I see you shooting all the time. I have an Instagram group. It's called AV Shooters, I think. It has like 40 people in there. We're always messaging each other, but I'm the realtor in that group. Right? Now, what is the goal? When we come across someone that says, hey, I want to buy or I want to sell, what is the goal?
Capture them.
What's that?
Capture?
Capture them? Yeah. How do we cement the relationship?
Provide value, information, things that they want to know about what they're trying to
To
do.
share a value.
Yeah. Now, have you guys talked to someone and then you get off the phone and you start sending them stuff and you don't hear from them ever again?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked someone, hey, is it okay if I call you back?
Yeah.
Yeah? Got permission to follow up?
Yes.
So our goal with the lead is to have a two-way conversation, right? And they found out that when you get permission to follow up, and then if you get very specific about how you're gonna follow up, the next time you follow up with them, the chances of them picking up goes up significantly. So it looks like Jacqueline, right? Jacqueline, hey, look, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I know you aren't ready right now. You're concerned with the rates. Tell you what, I have a newsletter that goes out once a month. Is it okay if I email it to you? It'll keep you up to date on the rates. And then I'll check in with you every 2 weeks just to let you know what the rates are doing if I come across some cool programs. Is that okay? Perfect. So when I go to call Jacqueline, do you think she's gonna pick up?
Yes.
She's like, JD's probably got some good news around rates, right? So you wanna get permission to have a two-way conversation, and if you get really good, you find out about like what's the best way that I'm gonna get you to pick up the phone. Now, when we put these people in the databases, are they only talking to us?
No.
Did you know that if someone signs up online, statistics show they're talking to about 7 other agents? Social media leads, 7 other agents.
Yeah.
Zillow leads, probably 7 other agents. Yep.
New family members that they got their license.
Yeah, exactly. So when I tell you guys, hey, look, it's important to follow up and it's important to have a message, and it's also important to know that you're competing with other people. What are your thoughts around all that? What's some questions that might have come up or some things that stuck out?
Can I ask you a question, please?
Please do.
Yeah, so in regards to the follow-up, yesterday I had a person I met, I knew from before, so I wanted to get his number to put it in the database for, Keller Williams and whatnot, because they want us to put in all the info.
Yep.
And the customer didn't want that. And I already know people don't really like that from my experience, because they know you're going to take the number, call them back, follow up with them. It's like, if you have my thing, I'll call you. So when I told him the company wants that, he's like, no, don't put it in the system. If you're gonna put it, I don't wanna do it.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Here, I'll be ready, I'll do it. So we put everything in the system. It's like, people don't like that. I don't wanna call him every month, bake with him, and not necessarily fake, but still, people know, So that was kind of confused me. It's like, what if they don't want to let you put their numbers in and them all the time?
Yeah, so there's a lot into that, and I'm going to try to break this down in a couple minutes just for the sake of time, but maybe afterwards you can reach out and I'll discuss it a little bit more in detail. But I do think that number one is your mindset. If you don't believe in your system, they won't. So number one is you're the shit. You're the best realtor out there, you have the best tools, you have all the access to everything, and no one hustles like I do, right? Number one, mindset. The stuff that I offer is gonna save you millions, make you millions, build generational wealth. You have to talk to me. That's my mindset. Now I'm confident in that because I've gone and studied my craft and sharpened my skills. Does that make sense? So like people that aren't aware yet of what services they can provide to strengthen their business, just simply hasn't tried anything yet, right? Most people do the ready aim and never fire. Go talk to Andrew Briones. Andrew was building a smart plan, and he was asking me, JD, should I do this, should I do that? What's this look like? And I was like, it looks amazing, send it out. It looks great, send it out. And he didn't for about 3 weeks. And he started perfecting it, and then finally he got comfortable and he sent it out. It was a text message, it was a smart plan that I helped him create. So he sent it out, guess what happened? He made a mistake. As much as he prepared to send the best system out, he made a mistake. You know what the mistake was? It was an automated text message that went out and it said, hey, Andrew, it's JD, hey, JD, it's Andrew. I was just in your neighborhood and want to see if you want to get a cup of coffee. Someone said yes, guess where they're at? Vegas. He's in Palmdale. Yeah. You'll never know your systems until you try them. So for you, sir, what was your name? Ray? Roy, so mindset, just know that we have awesome systems. Understand that you're going to have to study them a little bit more. Then work on your scripts. I would have asked that gentleman, hey, how can I be a valuable source? What's some information that I can keep you up to date on? Is he not ready now? Is he ready in the future? Buy, sell?
Yeah, he's waiting till the end of the year. His brother and him, they want residential and commercial. I spoke to him yesterday, told him what's going on. I happen to be close to him, and I told them I just wanted to get the info to put it because they're telling me that it's better through the system. I have to record it through the system and just put it as a lead, right?
Yeah,
and like I already told you, at the end of the year, I have a few months to finish it. I don't want to put it in the system. So that's why I keep on, a lot of people don't want you to go and put them in the system and follow with them and call them every week and, you know what I mean?
Not mine. Mine are excited to get the information I'm about to give it to them. So let's go back. What I heard you say is they're waiting until the end of the year, right? Now what's important about the end of the year? What's going to happen between now and the end of the year? Yeah, so that's a good question to ask. Because they might say, I need more down payment money, I'm working on credit, now it's just not the time, life is hard, it's difficult, interest rates are high. What you receive, sir, is what we call an objection. An objection has multiple layers. When someone says, I don't like interest rates, what can that mean?
He's concerned about the payment.
I'm not gonna buy.
Okay, rates, so rates, not gonna buy. Why not? What about rates? What sucks about high rates?
High rates, high interest rates compared to before.
Yeah, oh, okay. So before, if someone's like, I need the rates to be 3% or 6%, that sucks, right? But what about payment? Could it be payment?
Yes, normally rates are related to the payment.
Yeah, rates are related to the payment, right? We just in a couple minutes here, when someone says rates, there's more behind it. So you received an objection. What we need to do is uncover the challenge that they're having. Because our system, we're going to design to attack that challenge. So if the gentleman said, hey, I want to wait until the end of the year because I claimed too much on my taxes last year, so I gotta do no tax exemptions this year. Oh, cool. Well, hey, is it okay if I follow up with you on some tax information? I can get you connected with my tax guy, and we'll check in once a quarter, once a week to keep you up to date. Or I like to tell them, hey, look, you know what? I understand the end of the year is where you want to be. I'll note that, and I can check in with you just at the end of the year. But I always like to say it's better to prepare than it is to repair. Because Roy, I would hate to meet with you in December and then find out we have 6 more months of work to do, and you got to lease that's up. You wouldn't want that, right? So
No, I already know his situation. We spoke in detail. So I already have info. But the guy is finishing from one business. He's closing it down, and he needs some time, and he wants another commercial to start a business.
Yeah.
And he also said he wants residential, but he doesn't want me to press him, and he told me And so I told him, he's like, I got you, just don't, I don't want to be put in a system where they, you know, like advertise to you and call you.
Oh, I told you that.
I wouldn't mind, you know?
Yeah.
I would follow up with him, you know?
Yeah, so I think, I definitely think this is a moment where you'd have to have like a coaching session to kind of work you through this, because I'm hearing some mindset stuff and I'm just hearing strategy, need to implement some strategy. Out of respect for the class and the time, what I'll do is I'll reach out to you after class and then maybe I can get you set up with some resources that'll help you to get people to say yes to using our system. Because I know it can happen. I have a system of 20,000 people who all said yes to me sending out valuable information. So I'll show you how we did that, but let's do that after class. That's gonna take a little bit longer and it's kind of a rabbit trail. But please do share. Coming back to leads, guys. Life of a lead. How many of you guys seen this before?
Yep, we saw it yesterday.
Seen it yesterday? Oh man, they spoiled it. So this is the life of a lead, right? If I was to tell you, hey, I'm gonna send you a lead and they're gonna be right here, what kind of lead is that?
Strong lead.
Strong lead, hot lead,
Ready.
ready, payday,
Yeah.
trip, buy that new boat, maybe down payment on a house, right? Get out of the job that I'm working at, I don't know. So what I'm hearing you say is like, those are the kind of leads I like. What if I was to say, hey look, you're gonna get a lead right here? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
You have to nurture,
Work on
follow up.
Nurture, work on it.
Cement.
If I gave you this number to call, or this number to call, I was like, you can only pick one, which one would you pick?
I want to pick the bottom one.
You pick the bottom one, okay. Why is that?
Because when you help those are the more like loyal to you, and you cemented a strong relationship, and they refer you more business.
But they're not gonna buy for 7 years.
I don't care because through the 7 years they're gonna refer me many people.
But can this person refer you business too?
It depends.
And they're gonna buy in the next year.
It depends. It depends on how they see my value.
Oh,
Because
okay.
when you work, I notice that when I work with a five-star client,
Yeah,
they feel that because they were good with the income,
Yeah. yeah, you cemented the relationship.
they didn't see the value you work.
Yeah, I
Because
get
you
it.
don't have enough time to show all your strengths.
Limited belief. I pick both. Trick question, guys, I take both. Why not? Take it all.
No, I think it all.
Take it all, right? A lot of people get into the habit of saying this is a good lead and this is a bad lead. I want you guys to do the world a favor and stop calling people leads and just start calling them people. Would you go and say, oh, that's a bad person?
No.
That's a good person. I had a good one. I want come talk to me, right? They're all good. They're all. And what Gloria is saying is, hey, by this time I cemented the relationship. Usually, if I don't have enough time, I can't cement that relationship. The honest reality is, whether they're here or here, the systems rarely change.
Yes.
You're still doing follow-up calls and touches. So what happens is, this person's probably going to do business within the next year or so. This person probably won't, but do they know people?
Yes.
Absolutely. So this person might not be selling you something, but they might refer something to you. And guess what? They might not refer, but they will buy eventually or sell eventually. You having problems, Mom?
I'm trying to claim you as the host because you're not the host.
Okay. Now, when they are in this up and down, should we be following up with them?
Yes.
Yeah. We never know when this is gonna hit. It's not predictable where, oh, you know what, we're coming up on 7 years, I should call them now. Does life happen?
By that time, maybe you already lose them.
What was that?
By that time, you already lose them. If
You might
know
have. Another agent comes and cements that relationship, they forget about you, they lose their number. I go to appointments all the time, they're like, I have this awesome agent that helped me buy this house. I can't remember the name or know their phone number.
Yeah. I try to add a new speak with the people that are being divorced, going to divorce. So I'm going to implement this new
Thanks,
script
Mom.
and say that, promise me that whatever happen in life, we never be separated. I know you're gonna marry someone in the future. Don't let it treat by them to refer you his personal agent. You will arrive together for life.
I'm gonna steal that idea.
Just stay connected with them, make friends with them, and every once in a while, follow up with them. I guess that would be the, and make as if, not as if, become somebody they want in their life that helps them, that brings value.
Yeah, you can sum it up to this. Be a good person, be a good relationship-based person. And then number 2, be the local real estate market expert.
Yeah.
And then number 3, be the economist of choice. Whole different class on that. But make sure you know your statistics and make sure you know what's going on in the economy. What's up, Jasmine?
I was just gonna go back to when you were talking about that other guy that was sending out the text messages
Yeah.
and it was wrong time.
Uh-huh.
Is there a class in Ignite where like they go over like those type of tasks?
Yeah, we're gonna do them today.
Oh, those are the.
Yep, it's coming up. Those are called your smart plans or your connects, your touches. Yep, that's what we're gonna go over that today. Yeah, so going back, okay. So think of leads that enter your database through lead generation as possible business. Always think there's an opportunity. I wake up every day feeling like I'm in Vegas because every day, every call that I get, every call that I make might be that one big buyer or seller. In 2021, the National Association of Realtors, every year they do surveys for buyers. How'd you meet your agent? How many agents did you meet with? What can a good buyer's agent do? What can a good seller's agent do? You can go to NAR.org and you can go pull these reports. But in 2021, research showed that 73% of buyers only talk to one agent. So 2 out of every 3 buyers went with the first agent they talked to. That was 73%. Sellers, how many sellers went with the first agent? Throw some numbers out there, percentage-wise.
Like 40?
What was that?
Like 40?
40%?
60?
60? 82%. 82% of sellers went with the first agent they met with. 73% of buyers went with their first agent. Does that make sense? The thing about sellers is no one has found the magic way on how to get sellers to raise their hand and say, I'm ready. You really have to work for those seller leads. It's less competition. Buyers ones though, you got Facebook ads, open houses, you got all these things that attracts buyers. You're talking to 7 other agents, that's why that statistic is lower. So, being that most of these agents or most of these buyers are meeting with their first agent, what is the first thing we should do when we meet a lead or a person?
Be very prepared. First impressions are so important.
Be very
When we
prepared.
see-
First impressions are important. Super simple, write this down guys, ready? Put it into command. Put them in command. You don't even have to put them on a smart plan, just put them in there. You guys ever met that realtor that has all of the, I met this person at an open house right here, here's the napkin, I was at a restaurant and I took this, here's this person's business card. You don't want to be that realtor. You can have it still, but back it up and put it into command. Put them into command first. Even if they don't give you permission to follow up, still put them into command, and then you can follow up with them at whatever way you feel necessary. Right? So like Roy, if that guy was completely against me following up, I'd still put him in there. I'd put a task at the end of the year, and I'd call him. So at the end of the year, my CRM is going to remind me, JD, you got to call this guy. You said call him at the end of the year. Then I'd call him. If you write him down on a piece of paper, you think you're going to remember to call him at the end of the year? We also do strategies where we go through our entire database, so no one gets missed. Everyone gets hit at least once a quarter. Okay. So here's a quote. If you want first or second in their mind, you probably won't get the business. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. There is a book, I think it's called The Purple Cow. Could be something different, but the human brain can only retain seven different businesses or brandings per product. So if I was to say, give me, everyone just throw out some chip names. What do you got?
Doritos.
Lay's,
Ruffles.
Ruffles, Cheetos,
Doritos.
Doritos.
Manchas,
Huh?
manchas.
Manchos?
Yeah.
Whoa, now we're stretching it, right? I don't know what manchos is. What is it?
Really? Sun chips.
Sun
Hot
chips, Takis. So that's 8. As a group, we got up to 8. Is it getting a little hard now?
Little Funyuns.
Finding them.
Funyuns,
Hot puffs.
huh?
Hot puffs.
Hot Puffs.
Cheeto puffs.
See, now you really got to think about it, right? Now imagine if this is as a group, and we got to like 9. We got to really about 7 or 8, and then we started to struggle. Then we started coming off with munchies, manchos,
Munchies.
manchos. Never heard of it. I'm sorry.
Really?
Pretzels.
Those are like my mom's favorite. We always
Munchies.
have those in the house.
Munchies.
Munchies.
What is that?
So imagine as a person.
They're like a mix of all of them. Munchies.
I know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm a visual. You need to introduce us to
So-
the munchies.
So guess what, guys? So that's just with like chips and sodas and Kleenexes, you name it, right? Usually the human brain can only have room for 7. In real estate, guess what? It's 2. If you talk to a person and you say, hey, how many realtors do you know? They only know, like, and trust 2 agents. So guess what? If you're not first, you're what? You're last. Yeah. And because most people make their decisions with the first agent they meet, I think you got pretty good chances of building relationships with these people, right? What's missing? Cementing the relationship and lead follow-up. Plain and simple. When we're doing our lead follow-up, what are the strongest kind of touches that we can do to cement the relationship?
Phone calls.
Calls, face to face.
Phone calls, face-to-face. What's the most important one?
Go out with them.
Face to face.
Go out with them. Good answer, Roy. Face-to-face.
Yes.
That is the biggest touch that you can do. Some of us agents, we disguise it, we trick them. And what we do is we'll hold events called client appreciation events. It really is, we give back to them, but in reality, don't forget I'm your realtor. Sometimes we don't do client appreciation events. I did raffle tickets in October. I raffled Clipper tickets in October. Good ones too, they were courtside. We've done fall festivals. Were you with us, Ariana, when we did the fall festival? We turned this whole office. We had, in the front, we had vendors. We had like 40 different vendors, just in front of the entire office, in front of the training room. And then back here, we had carbon pumpkin right there, carbon pumpkin right there. And then this area, we got one of those 360 machines.
Oh.
Yeah, with some smoke and everything. It was huge. It took up this whole room. And then in the middle of the office right there, because they were still doing construction, it was open. We set up a whole bunch of tables and we ordered like 50 pizzas. And then we had Halloween City next door. So we spent a month inviting all our friends and clients to it. We had hundreds of people come through that day. Some people we just met. I went over there with flyers and I talked to the people and I was like, hey, is it okay? I invite people over to my festival. They can buy a costume and then go over there and get photos from the 360 machine. It was a smash. All day long. So we disguise our touches to meet with them, not just be like, hey, you want to go get get coffee and talk about real estate? Like, hey, we're doing this awesome stuff for the community. You guys always send us business. We just want to thank you. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to give you pizza. We'll give you some stuff to do for the kids. I know you parents love that.
Yes.
No money. Go and, hang out. Kids were carving pumpkins, painting pumpkins. We didn't charge them anything. So, yeah, what's up, Roy?
Sorry to cut you off. So essentially, from what I've understood through business and communications connections, they have to like you and feel you're sincere and with good intentions. And you don't have to push them hard for the sale. If they know what they want, or they have an idea that's in their head, they don't need you like a car salesman to keep pushing them. That's something that bothers me. Keep following up and keep on. So,
Yeah, you're spot on with it, Roy. Honestly,
a real friend. Actually, they really talk about real estate.
Yep, we have a saying. It goes, people don't like to be sold to, they like to buy things with friends. Right? And so that's what you're mentioning. But there's also another saying, timid people have skinny kids. And that's actually from a salesman's book. And the honest reality is some people need to be pushed. If you're calling expires for sell by owners and cancels, it's a pretty nasty business when you do that. You'll get cussed out, you'll get hung up on. People will say, yeah, just a second, and put the phone down, keep you on hold for 5 minutes. And some people, I had one guy, Paul. It was an expired. He tried to cancel on me 7 times that day. Luckily, I had my objection handling scripts, and so on the 7th one, I ran out of things to say. And I said, Paul, I am literally walking out of my office. I spent an hour on your file. I expect for you to give me 10 to 15 minutes of your time. Is that fair? He said, that's fair, JD. Went over there and signed him. So, yes, we definitely want to build rapport and be known, liked, and trust, but there are some scenarios where you have to fight for it. And you have to use your skills to close the appointment. It just depends on who you're talking to.
You can read the energy, well, it depends on some people. You can read the energy of the person and the body language and everything. And based off that, you can kind of give or take when you want to push them or when they need to be pushed and stuff like that. So
that's fair to say.
Communication, emotional intelligence.
Now emotional intelligence.
If they like you, they'll give you all the jobs. They like you and they trust you. Everybody they know, right?
Yeah, and you gotta do your part too and follow up with them, because there's plenty of prospects that will say, I totally thought of you, but I never sent you their business. I'm like, oh, my friend was buying that work and I thought of you, and that's as far as it goes. So, guess what? We got 2 different agents, right? We have one agent that is doing phone calls, sending handwritten letters, and asking to meet up. And then another agent is just sending texts and emails. Which one do you think is going to cement that relationship?
First one.
The first one. Texts and emails are the weakest form of conversations, right? But they still work. They still do work. It's always about in person and over the phone. Okay, yeah, what's up, Jasmine?
Are you guys gonna have any client appreciation events coming up? Also,
Yes.
are those for like an individual agent, or are they open to the,
Yeah, so usually when we do those, you're more than welcome to come and check it out, for sure. But when we do those events, it's in this case, it's for the All-Star. But the event that we're working next, we try to do one minimum once a quarter. And so.
the All-Star group?
What's that?
The All-Star group.
Yeah, the All-Star group. This one's gonna be a little different. I'm actually open to bringing some other agents in, because it's not just for the All-Stars. We're partnering up with Lancaster and Palmdale Animal Shelter, and we're doing a pet adoption festival. We're doing a pet adoption festival. We did one 5 years ago with Palmdale. They brought 60 dogs, I think, like 10 puppies. We had 30 puppies adopted that day. It was the second most they ever had adopted in one day. And so they came to me and I was like, hey, that event was so good. We're overcrowded at the shelter. Can we do another one? So we're going to be doing it on April 20th. We didn't do it because of the date. It was just that day was the Saturday. And so April 20th, we're turning this whole office into a pet adoption festival. We're going to have vendors with booths, offering free things, offering raffles. The last time that I had a hot dog guy. I had snow cones. I had a DJ. I had a photo booth. I had the entire side of the mall right here, or the office. One side was all the pets, and then the other side was the vendors. We did raffles. We raffled off over like 30 items.
I have a question. So when you do that, the people that come through, because people like free things, right? It's not going to attract there probably is people who are going to buy who are good, but I feel like most of them will just come, enjoy, and leave. But the potential you can build with any of them, I understand that. But also there's a lot of talkers and people who like free stuff. So then you have to decipher between them.
No, you don't. Right? No.
So you speak to all of them and they stop that?
Because what you're talking about is what we just discussed about the cycle of a real estate, of a lead. So what you're saying is, hey, look, most of these people, they're just going to be naysayers and looky-loos and just there for the free stuff, so they're going to be at the bottom. We're looking for the people at the top. Again, I talk to all of them. I have a system in place that will continue to connect with them. I have one guy, Mr. Green, he never bought a property in 10 years. You know how many people he sent to me? 7. He's never bought a property. He just knows a lot of people. Horrible financial habits. makes good money, spends it all, so he'll never buy a house. We put a plan in place, he'll just never buy a house. But he knows plenty of people, and he's referred 7 people to me over the past 10 years, named Mr. Green. So that's what you're referring to, Roy. Yeah, you take all of them. You take all of them, you never know. Dude, I've seen some people win lawsuits. I had one guy, he lost his leg, and he won $250 million. Poor one day, rich the next day. Glad I had him in my database. Okay, so what do you guys think about lead follow-up so far?
Makes sense.
Is there more to it than what it sounds like?
Every person is important.
Every person is important. Thank you,
Don't
Gloria.
underestimate anybody, no matter what level in the cycle they are.
Yeah, don't underestimate anyone, no matter where they're at.
Don't judge a book by its cover, talk to everybody, keep following up, then follow up with them, keep in touch. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, guys, so now we're gonna do the lead follow-up. We were actually, Jasmine, you were asking about this, like, hey, where's those plans at? I wanna take a look at them. So leveraging high-value touches are most important. Again, what are the highest value touches that we can do?
Face to face and a call.
Person to person, face to face, and phone call. So we're gonna leverage those. The fortune is in the follow-up. So what happens is with this follow-up, guys, I will promise you this. There is never gonna be a piece of marketing material where someone's gonna say, you know what, I didn't sell my house today. You have such an awesome flyer. That was such an amazing post. What happens is, when we put people into our database, during this cycle, you think of these notches as touches. And so what happens is, you want your touch to happen right around the time they actually want to sell. It's all about timing. Thing is, we just never know. So that's why we have to have systems in place. We check in every now and then, hey, don't forget I'm a realtor. Quick text, hey, I just want to let you know, rates are cooling down. I got some really cool down payment programs. California Dreamer is a great program to send out right now. And so what happens is, it's all about the follow-up and then being in a position when the opportunity arises that you're ready. Does that make sense?
An opportunity meets preparation.
There you go. Now, have you guys heard of smart plans campaigns?
Yes.
Those are systems. Drip campaign, like the auto prospector I just mentioned to you, that's a system. Here are some examples of systems. So again, the fortune is in the follow-up, right? Who wants to read the leads? 19 to connect.
Sure.
Can I get a volunteer?
You got it.
Thank you, Nate.
All right, so 19 to connect, you got 4 touches with a quarterly phone call. You got 12 touches with a monthly email, newsletter, marketing report, and video. And then you have 2 touches with promotional direct mail, such as a magnet, calendar, printed marketing report, etc. And then you have 1 touch with an annual event, party, movie screening, and get together.
Get together. Yep. One to cement a high value touch that solidifies their relationship you have just established and opens the door for future connection. So a high value touch. Quarterly calls are those high value touches.
Yes.
Our monthly emails, newsletters, market reports, are those high value touches? Depends on how you deliver it. If you call them to give them an update on the market, that's high value. If you email them, like you know how Alto sends out those weekly emails, the email's not too high. What about annual event?
Hot.
Have you guys rented out a movie theater before? It's not very much, a couple $100, to be honest with you, if you do it in the middle of the day. Some agents do that. I think we did that. Keller Williams, we rented out a movie theater one time, gave out free tickets, and we ran out the Jayhawk Stadium like 2-3 years in a row. 4,000 seats. We just gave out tickets like they were candy. I remember one time I was in the front because I had talked to so many people, and they're like, "Hey, JD, is it okay if my friends?" And I was like, "Yeah, bring them, whoever." Like they got 8 kids though, and I was like, even better. And so I had to stand in front, and I had stacks of tickets, and I was just giving them to people. I had one of my friends named Carlos. I swear they're building like a tribe. They have like 4 kids, and they had them all back to back, and I was like, man, they got a big family, and they also know they're big family. So Carlos comes up, and he's like, JD, I know you gave me 8-10 tickets already, but I think it was their like softball team or their baseball teams. One of the kids was in a sport, and he was like, they want to come, can they come? I was like, yeah, bring their parents too. Why did I do that?
Because you want to make a relationship with the parents.
Yeah, I was like, hey, look, I'll give you a ticket as long as I can give you my card and I can talk to you about real estate. Jasmine, do you have a question?
You kind of answered it.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, how did you guys like were able to like get the contacts? Like you were just giving out like business cards?
Some people I didn't get because I was just so busy. I would give them my business card, but honestly, they usually don't. What would usually happen is, out of those people that I was talking to, some of them actually some of them just took the tickets, and especially the kids, they're like, thank you, bye, and gone, right? The parents though, some of them would just take it, go follow the kids, and some of them, they'd be like, hey, this is awesome, thank you, why are you doing this? Like, oh, I sell real estate. My company is Keller Williams, we're #1 out here. We sell so many houses, we just want to get back to you guys. Is it okay if I become your real estate, source of real estate? And they'd say, yeah. Cool, let me get your number. All right, Ariana, can you read the 36 to convert?
36 to convert, 4 touches, telephone calls, 26 touches, bi-weekly email offering some type of information of value to the consumer. 2 touches, events, get-togethers, parties. 4 touches, promotional direct mail, such as magnet, calendar, market report, etc.
I forgot you don't have your glasses. Okay, so 19 to connect. This is the one that we're gonna help you guys at least become aware of so you can go build it out. This is for people, you can use this for anyone. You just met them, they're buyers, they're sellers, you can add them to this. The 36 to convert, you can use after the 19 to connect. So after 19 to connect, you can move them to 36 to convert. Okay, so the way the 19 to connect is, it's pretty much 1 touch every 3 weeks. So it's about 1 touch a month. Sometimes you'll sneak 2 in there. What are your questions? Do you guys have any questions on this 19 to connect? Do you guys have any questions on the quarterly calls? Yeah?
Let's say like I meet someone at an open house and they tell me they're already working with the realtor. How would I like follow up with them, or like could I follow up with them? And how, and like what would I, like what's the value that I would provide to them?
So I'm all about mindset. First thing, what I'm thinking is, why are you coming to an open house without your agent? That agent ain't hustling.
Yeah.
If my client says they're gonna go to open houses, I'm like, great, what time are we going?
Yeah.
Right? So my mindset's like, oh, they already lost. I'm already at an edge ahead of them, right? So the other thing is, so as a guy, guys will relate, well, guys and girls. This is the best example I've ever heard. And I was like, if you ever have a crush on a girl, you don't go and talk about how bad her boyfriend is. You just kind of have to wait. If things don't work out, maybe one day you'll have an opportunity to show her how amazing you are, right? So that's kind of how it is. We don't trash the other agent. We don't talk about how bad they are. What we do is I'll ask them, hey, do you mind if I give you a second opinion? Do you mind if I'm a batter up in case things don't work out? Is it okay if I just send you properties in the meantime? I know you're working with your agent, and tell you what, if something happens and you can't get into the house, give me a call. I'll be more than happy. Maybe if I'm in the air, I'll let you in. I'm leaving the door open for them to say, if things don't work out, I'm calling you. And so, I'll get permission to follow up. Awesome, I'd love to be batter up. Is it okay if I keep you up to date on the market? Can I send you the open houses that I'm gonna do? Can I send you information on loans, right? Down payment, interest rates. What's up, Jasmine?
Oh, sorry. Can we do the same thing for someone who has a listing with another agent?
So, the way it works is, with the buyer-broker agreement, they can actually use anyone they want. What happens though, is if they end up buying without that agent, they have to pay that agent still. Let's say that Jacqueline is Francis's agent. And then, Francis, you come into my open house, you're like, yeah, I signed an agreement with Jacqueline. And I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Francis calls me one day and says, JD, you sent me a property. It's not working out with Jacqueline. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but I really don't want to miss out. Can you at least let me in? So yeah, sure, I'll let you in. There's a couple scripts that we use. One of them is, hey, look, just to let you know, if I go let you in, I am going to be entitled to the commission that they're offering, right? And so what happens is, if that happens, the seller will pay my commission, pro-occurring causes. I let you in, I wrote up the offer, but Francis would still owe Jacqueline a commission. Okay? On the listing side, can't do that. If there's a listing agreement signed, we can't work with them. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
What if we like kind of nurture them, like sending them property?
You can, but you cannot talk about the property that's under contract. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because usually what happens is if they're working with an agent on a listing and they're not liking it, they'll come to you and ask you questions like, hey, you know, what do you think about the price of my house? Do you think it looks good? You know, is there anything else you would do different? You can't have those
Oh, really?
around that house. But if they say, hey, look, my neighbor's house is at 560, what do you think about that price? I'd say, oh yeah, for sure, spot on. Houses are going for like 600,000 around there.
So it's more flexible on the buyer side.
It is, but ideally, if someone has a buyer broker agreement, I try not to mess with it. Because it's just messy,
Yeah.
you know, so I just go find someone else. But I'm always batter up, and so like, I'll give you this one example. There was a lady named Belinda Robinson, still a client to this day. She sold 3 properties with me, bought 2. And the way I got her, she was qualified with Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo set them up with their lender. And so this is before I had smart plans and follow-ups. I put her on a home search, a drip. And 2 months later, she called me. She goes, JD, this realtor just isn't cutting it. And I seen how hard you were working by sending me those emails, even without me committing to you. So I'm sold. Come help me buy a house. She thought I was sending the emails out. I just did the research once and set it on auto prospect, and it sent it out on its own. She thought it was me. So that's what I try to do. Is like I try to find some kind of way where I can follow up with them and not be up front. Be like, hey, buy with me, buy with me. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay. What do you guys think about anything on the 12 touches monthly, the promotional stuff, magnets, calendars? Any questions on events?
Is there a best source to get newsletters, or is that something we create ourselves? We have to create the wheel.
Well, you can go. So we do this for Andrew. To be honest, we have it's a separate company. It's a company that I have. It's called KWAV Your Way. I partnered up with the office to do it. And pretty much the services that we give to the All-Star Group, because the All-Star Group's a 50-50 split, and so out of 50% that we take for a partnership, we put it back into building the agents. And so we have Dedette, she creates our newsletters for us. So the agents never have to create it, they don't even do the content. Dedette, me, Dedette, and the team, we work together. So if you're not on the All-Stars, we have what's called an a la carte agreement, where you just tell us what you want. If you want a newsletter, I think it's $400 for us to create the newsletter. It does take about a couple weeks. Sometimes it took a month with people. Andrew, it took like 3 days. But we'll create the newsletter for $400 up front, and then we will edit it for you every month, and we will send it to your database for you for $100 a month after that.
How does it get sent?
Through command.
Is it like an email one or is it mail in?
No, email. Yeah, we haven't done any print. So, do you guys, who gets the KW Your Way newsletter? Ariana, anyone else?
Do you have to sign up for that?
You should be already. I'll double check our system. It looks like this, and this is what our newsletters look like. It just went out this morning. It goes out every morning before 8 a.m.
So you send out a newsletter every single day?
Every Friday for the office, we send a newsletter, and then for the All-Stars, we take one of those newsletters and we send it out once a month. We just change it a little bit. So this one. So here's your cover page. We always do a joke up front, and the reason we do the joke up front is because we put the answer at the end. It makes them go through the whole thing. And people love it, right? What sort of money do you need if you want to start your own landscaping business? We always spotlight an agent. For the ones that go to our customers, we don't put this one in here. We always have Alto's report on here. And then you can click the video, take you to the video. Here's the rates. I have agents from other offices that we send this to, and they share this. They just crop out our stuff. I think it's funny. But Crystal does transaction services. Talks about Ignite classes. This is the tip of the week for Command. It's usually Command. We'll do a video on Command every week. Here's the recipe. Here's the events. Gloria was talking about events. If you don't know what's going on, open this every week and you'll see what's going on. I share this on my social media. I'll share this stuff, and you know, people reach out to me about it. They're like, oh, thank you for sharing. You know, I like it. Can you give me more information? It's not about real estate, but I'm still cementing my relationship with them. And so this is what the newsletter looks like now. So we can create one. I'll show you Andrew's. I love Andrews. He calls it the neighborhood watch. And he took some stuff from our newsletter too, but he added his own. Oh, see, this one was only 5 pages. Here's another one. Do this one. He did a raffle one time. He did a TV raffle. This one has 7. Market update, realtor tips. Oh, he did a Super Bowl one. Oh, see, here's the TV he gave away. And then he had a property that was coming up, so we just did it coming soon. So we can create that for you. It does cost money though. We provide it to the All-Stars because we have a partnership with them. But if you guys don't want to join the All-Star group and you still want some of the services, you can kind of go and pick, and we have a menu that you can select for. It usually costs more money to do it that way than in partnership. It just depends on how often you use it. Okay. Let's get back to business. Okay, consider for your follow-up lead program. What are my strengths when working with people? How can I adapt the touches of 19 to connect to represent me? So let's talk about this. Open mic. What's your guys' strength?
I like to talk to people.
Like to talk to people. Cool. What else?
A good listener.
Good listener?
Understand, problem solver.
Any of y'all worked another job or in another field? Any of you have a hobby? Guess what? That's something unique that some other people might not have. Right? So how can I take these strengths that I have and put them into my touches? Do any of you guys know Betty Rosales? She goes by Betty Reyes. Betty Reyes Rosales. She used to be on my team. And so we have like vendor programs where we go and reach out to vendors, but Betty used to work, she used to be a car salesman. She worked at Toyota. And I don't think she did sales, I think she did the maintenance. She was like the girl that took in the orders and stuff. And so one year, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do as far as like preparing my touches is we went, have you guys ever seen those pre-made mason jars with the ingredients to make cookies and all you gotta do is add egg? Mm-hmm. So we made those from scratch. I went and bought a whole bunch, I think we did 100 of them. Tip, don't get the big mason jars because you gotta put a lot of stuff in there. Get the small mason jars. So we did 100 of them. And we were gonna give them out to people we knew. And then Betty asked, she goes, hey, can I take some to the dealership? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we ended up taking 20 of those to the dealership. And honestly, we only gave out 3 of them. Most of them were like, no, thank you, I'm not interested. But they got to talk to Betty. And one ended up having a real estate need. I think they were selling a house and having a problem. So Betty got connected with that. So those of you that have other jobs, think about it. Like who works with it? Francis, I know you do. Can I use you for a second? Okay. What's some cool stuff that you could bring by, or some stuff that they need? People always love food.
Yeah. I work at a boba
Yeah.
shop, so.
It's a lot of hustle and bustling, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna imagine you guys are always busy.
Yeah.
Have you ever had someone come in and say, hey, you guys are so awesome. I know how tough it is. Here's breakfast burritos on me. Here's a box of donuts on me.
No one's done that, but it would be appreciated.
Would it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then if you said, hey, look, guys, by the way, I'm at Keller Williams. I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm looking to buy or sell, please let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'll feel obligated now to give you a piece of business?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so that's just boba. We have people that volunteer for like police and firefighters. They're always in need of things, right? So you gotta think like, what are my strengths and how can I add that into my stuff? Nate, you like talking to people, networking events. Networking
100%.
events. What are some reasons I might have for contacting the lead? What are some reasons we can reach out to contact the lead?
To update them.
I just showed you guys one.
Just to see how they're doing.
See how they're doing.
Their birthday.
Their birthday. That's a good one. Birthday.
Holidays.
Holidays.
I'm not sure what's going on. We're not muted over here, Roy, but I'll get Mondo over here. Maybe he wants to be unmuted.
I know, I think he does.
I don't know.
Oh, the one on
Are you?
Yeah, I was trying to participate with you guys.
Gotcha. I'm not shy.
Muted me, I don't know why.
Oh, God, yeah. I think that was just on your end, just unmuted, but I think we're good now.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, for that, you find something in common.
Yep.
Where am I, so how can I act, and then that keeps you connected to them.
Yes.
But that answers the second question, what are, let me just, I can't see this here.
Yeah, what are some reasons?
What are some reasons to do before and after, what are some reasons I have for contacting the lead, what's that word, I can't see it.
What are some touches to do before and after a phone call?
Yeah, what are some touches? So by touches, they mean like, you have to say something nice before and after you finish the phone call, right?
You know, like a person-to-person meeting, a phone call, a text, an email. So what are some reasons we can reach out to people? If I was to say, Rosalinda, Ariana, Nate, Jasmine, Brendan, you guys need to make a phone call right now.
How's your day?
How's your day going?
A long time I haven't seen you or talked to you.
Could you prepare for that call?
Yes.
You could, right? What I'd probably go do is find something that I find valuable. I love this. Write this down. You ready? It's called K-Score. You guys heard about it? K-Score. K and then score. Keller Williams School of Real Estate. It is an online class, 100% virtual, move at your own pace real estate school that is no cost to our clients. Our office pays for it. They can come and take it for no cost to them. Don't say free, say no cost to you. Because I tell them, I go, it's not free. It's no cost to you, but I end up paying it on my end. And that's just because I want to give back to my community.
How do you sign up for this for?
You already signed up. Oh, well, so you as an agent, you can already use it. You don't have to create an account or anything because the office has an account. If someone says, yeah, my kid wants to join real estate, what you do is you go to Victoria, or Roy, and you need to get their name, phone number, and email.
Got it.
Right? And with that, they can put them into the system and they'll pretty much take it from there. And then what I do is I just check in with them momentarily. So what do you do to prepare for that? Number one is get familiar with K-Score, right? With those questions you just asked, because if someone says, yeah, I want to do it, you better be prepared, right? If they have questions on it, you got to know. Hey, it doesn't cost anything? No, it does. I pay for it, but it's free to you. It's no cost to you. Also, do we have events to invite people to come to real estate? What is it called?
Client appreciation, right?
KW cares?
No.
Well, no, we had it
Right
right
there.
there, but
Something night.
Career night.
Career night. There we go, Brandon. Man, I was like, I hope they get it. Career night. We have one, I think, once a quarter or once a month.
No,
Actually-
quarter.
You know what might be a good idea before I make that call? Go find out when it is. 28.
So they are doing this.
So you can invite them to the K-Score or you can invite them to career night.
Yeah, so the case
The 28th.
is that the same as what George teaches?
No, two different schools.
Okay.
George's comes with a cost, and that's in person and virtual, and they do crash courses. The K-Score is 100% on your own, and it's 100% virtual, 100% at your own pace.
Yes.
Most people go to the K-Score and they just can't do it, so they end up coming to George and doing Smart Move.
Yeah.
And that's on command, K-School?
No, it's outside of command. You might be able to find some marketing and some information in command, but it's outside. What it is it's a real estate school that Keller Williams bought. Or they negotiated some kind of plan for all of us brokerages to sign up. We pay a monthly subscription for it. Not all Keller Williams has them. We have agents out of state that advertise over here. Garrett gets calls all the time. He's like, hey, I'm running an ad on Craigslist for real estate. I'm gonna send you this person. Happens all the time. How am I using conversations to let the person know I'm in real estate, how to contact me, and how to refer business? So, I've been talking about, hey, you don't have to call and say, who do you know wants to buy or sell, right? You guys been hearing me preach that all day? It doesn't have to be about buying or selling real estate, right?
No.
Every now and then, though, you gotta remind them who you are, right? Find any way you can to remind them you're in real estate. If you're new, just remind them, hey, I'm new to real estate. I'm new to Keller Williams. We have so much cool stuff. I'd love to tell you more about it. What's up, Jasmine?
What do you recommend a new agent that doesn't have like the funds to do
Mhm.
like a client appreciation
Yeah.
event? Like what would be like the next best thing?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you two
Promote
answers for
yourself.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna give you two answers for that. So one of them is gonna be the free one. So let's brainstorm. What are some free things that we can do?
Hand out flyers?
Hand out flyers.
Knock on doors, put it in the mailbox.
Do a home buyer.
Home buyer seminar. Good
That's
answers. Home buyer seminars.
For him saying that you can put it in their mailbox, you actually can't put it.
Oh yeah, you can't put them in the mailbox. It's a federal offense.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I got caught doing that one time. Luckily, I got a warning last time.
But you could do door hangers.
What about, I was gonna say door hangers, you can Google pop-by ideas. A lot of stuff you get at the Dollar General store. So they'll sell like around 4th of July, we would buy sparklers. Sometimes just your business card works. Your KW app, telling everyone to download your KW app. Find some stuff in your community. You know, what kind of communities are you involved with, Jasmine? Or that you could get involved with, or that you would like to get involved with? Is there any?
No, but I'm gonna start looking for some communities.
Yeah, for sure. You know, find something that would benefit you and your son. You know, and get in with that community, because that puts you in front of people around something that you're passionate about, your kid.
Maybe I should join the PTA.
I was thinking, yeah, I couldn't remember if your kid was homeschooled or if you went to school, so I was gonna say PTA, but yes, if they go to school, PTA, parent teacher, something, PTO. When I was a kid, it was called PTO, parent teacher organization, association, there you go. So that's a good one. But, you know, when you're there, you'll definitely every now and then wanna say, hey, look, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell? I do this all the time. I use the listings that I have. By the way, you guys ready? I have a listing in California City, it's for $315,000, it's worth $315,000. The seller has told me that she's willing to take $275,000, and I can go and tell people that. So it's such a good deal. Who do you know? Right? I have a listing, I have a mobile home listing up in Roseman, move-in ready, it's a beautiful home. It's an old guy, and he has a whole bunch of stuff in there. He has it listed at 110. He said he would allow me to advertise it to anyone that I know at 90,000. Yep.
So how about, like, you can search on Craigslist, for example, I'm doing drafting and my dad's a civil engineer, so that puts me right in the center. So, what was I just saying, man? I'm trying to ask for a second. So you can look on Craigslist for contractors and anybody in the field of like construction, and contact them also. You could do that, and if you're in the field, you're saying any field that relates to them, that makes it much easier. Like say if you're a drafter, an engineer, also on the side or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So search the internet. Search the Craigslist and search those things also too.
We used to call it the phone book method. We would literally open up the phone book and just start with A, and we would call one business that started with A, appliance, B, barber, C, car. What's up, Jasmine?
Sorry.
You're okay, ask away.
I have an idea, because like last time when, for Garrett's class, he said he did something with like the loan officer to target his like wife's school. Is that something I can do to like target like my husband's job?
Yeah. Remind me, what did he works at?
At CarMax.
CarMax,
But
okay.
they're very open with like working with vendors and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Like I've heard him that they work with like sub machine, like they, you know, like it's just, you know, they use them as like food vendors for like their events.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're really open
Yep.
to having like other like outside people like promoting their stuff.
Right. So we the pet adoption festival that I did, it probably cost about $5,000 for everything. I spent $700. The rest of it was taken care of by vendors. We did tacos on the boulevard. My friend owns Pretty Little Poppy. Have you guys seen that little market spot? It's on the side, right off the boulevard. Her name's Brenda. I've known her for years through the services we did with foster kids, and we rented out our spot. I had my lender pay for the taco guy, who was my friend, and he made enough for 200 people. And on Thursdays we went and we just made ticket vouchers, and hey, you guys want tacos? And then we had hundreds of people come and just had free tacos. And you know, get like 2 or 3 buyers from it. So you can partner up with your vendors for a couple reasons. Number one is help absorb cost. So if you don't have any money, find a lender or a vendor or a business that's willing to Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna do all the legwork to find people. You pay for the stuff that I'm gonna use as products.
Yeah.
So you can partner to help promote their business, and you can partner for them to absorb some of the cost. When is it best for me and my business to time block for lead follow-up? When's the best time to lead follow-up? In the morning?
Before lunch.
Before lunch?
Anytime after work.
Anytime. Almost. It's a little bit of everything. There's one piece that's missing.
The time I agree to them to call back.
The time that you're willing to do it. I had one of my mentors one time sit me down and we're going over my business plan, and he was like, JD, how many doors are you gonna knock? And I said, 200 doors every day. He looks at me and goes, JD, how many doors are you gonna knock? Really? I was like, okay, 100 doors. And he goes, really, 100? That's a lot to do in a day. Not saying that you couldn't, but I want you to be honest with yourself. Would you knock 100 doors every day? And I got to thinking about it. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And he goes, what are you willing to do? And I said, I'll do 25 doors every day. He goes, that's what you'll do. Because that's what you're willing to do.
It's more realistic.
Yeah, it's when you'll do it. So I've learned, I've read a book, and I've experimented. Mornings are the best. The reason being is, for me, as my day goes on, I'll give myself more excuses not to do things, and then everyone gets up and everyone gets busy, so now I'm being pulled in different directions. So the sooner I can start in the morning, the more energy I have to put into it, and the less distractions I have. How many of us go to the gym? I go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's the first thing I do. You wanna know why? Because I think it sucks. I've tried to go to the gym at night. I won't. I'll find a reason. I'm too tired. It's too far. It's too crowded.
It's too cold.
It's too cold.
Yeah, cold.
So in the Miracle Morning it says, do your important things in the morning. First thing, that's usually the recommended one. But do it when you can. And there's pros and cons to it. In the morning, you might get some people that don't wake up till 10. You're just gonna miss out on them. If you do calls in the evening, you'll probably get a better pickup rate, depending on what you're doing, because people are getting home from work. So I have agents, I strictly morning, that's it. I will buckle down, I will do it in the morning, never miss it. Some agents will do some in the morning and some will do some at night. I had one person said, I'm not gonna do it at all except on Friday, and I'm gonna do it all day Friday. Depends when you're gonna do it. Jacqueline, and then we'll come to you, Jasmine.
Sorry, I have open house on Sunday and I wanted to call and invite people. What do you think I should call them? Like, is it okay to call them on a Saturday? Like, they're like, leave it a
What do you want to fight for?
Yeah.
Well, so I would imagine you're doing the open house for something, right? Okay, and you know, it sells, you get the money, right? And I'm sure that's gonna go towards a life that you wanna fund. Am I right? You have kids, husband, wife? You have someone that you're doing it for?
Yeah.
They're part of your big why?
Yeah.
Cool, so you think of that, right? And because what we think is, now our limiting belief comes in, we call it the drunk monkey, it's on there. It's on that bold wall. The drunk monkey's like, oh, it's too early. It's Saturday, they're resting, why would you bother them? I'm willing to bother people and offend people because my family needs a life that I want to give them. Now, are you okay with someone getting upset?
Yeah.
A little bit, right? No one wants to. What you'll find out is most people won't be upset. So I would say yes. I mean, I think if you're knocking at the door at 5 o'clock in the morning, yeah, you know, or calling them for sure. Usually on Saturdays, I'll do some door knocking or calling around 9 or 10. I'll do door knocking around 10. I always do my open houses at 11, and so I can get there at 10 and door knock a little bit. Okay, you're welcome. So best time is when you'll do it. How much time should it take to reach out to a lead?
Right away.
Yeah.
Don't waste time.
Do it quick. Speed to lead. Just get to those leads as fast as you can. Do it as fast as you can. I time block my lead generation for an hour, but you'll see, like in my calendar, it'll say expired calls, 9 to 9:45. But what happens is I have that whole hour time blocked. I go head down all the way. I don't get distracted for 45 minutes. But because I like to talk to people and I can be undisciplined, I have to give myself room to just be a peacock and spread my wings. You know, go out and do what I want. So every hour of session, is 45 minutes of on task and then 15 minutes of whatever I want to do. That make sense? But I stay focused during that hour. So what happens is, if you're doing expires for sub-honors and cancels, and you're 10 minutes in, and you're like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, there you go. You're gonna kill probably about 10 to 14 minutes. You're gonna get up and go to the restroom, but statistics show as soon as you stop your activity, it takes you about another 7 minutes to get back into the mindset that you were before you interrupted it. So you gotta buckle down. Jackie, did we answer your question yet, or did you have one?
I think I'm gonna wait and talk to you after.
Okay.
Just cause it's like kinda a little off topic.
Yeah, okay, cool. Here's the magic question, guys. How are you gonna hold yourself accountable?
Your accountability partner.
Your accountability partner? So that yes, and that's a very common answer too. Dig deep, right? Like, how are you really gonna hold yourself accountable?
Maybe think of my whys if I'm
Think of your whys.
not feeling it.
Yeah, can I give you guys some examples that I've done in the past? So recently, and when my team works with me, I don't force them to do anything. I have a schedule that I want them to work toward, and I get their buy-in that, yeah, that seems valuable. Ariana, would you agree? And then I have them create their schedule. I also have them create their pain. I'm like, well, if you don't do that, what happens, right? And so, right now, with the All-Stars, we have to get here at 7:15. No later than 7:15, because our first script practice is at 7:30, so everyone has agreed, we're gonna study scripts for 15 minutes before we jump on at 7:30. If you're not here at 7:15, you gotta go walk around with your hair sprayed silver. So we have silver hairspray in our office. And some of the agents have done it. That was their pain. That was the lightest yet. Francis probably seen someone.
I saw it on Jason and
Yep.
I was like, what did he call
What do you got? Uh-huh.
Trying something new.
So we've done that, they picked it. I used to run a Script Warriors class, and you had to be here at 8 o'clock. And if you weren't, you had to be a part of the class, you had to pick a pain. There was one lady who said she would cook breakfast for the entire class. We had 50 people in that class. She did it one time. I had one gentleman, his pain was he'd have to do 1,000 sit-ups. I seen him do 1,000 sit-ups 7 days in a row. He ended up quitting. Working at Dick's now. True story. Really. If you're not gonna buckle down and hold yourself accountable, you'll find yourself working at Dairy Queen or McDonald's. And the funny thing is, you'll go hold yourself accountable to them, and they'll pay you less. You know, we make so much money here, and we don't hold ourselves accountable. We don't treat it like a job. Another thing that we did is, for me, that same class, I would have to pay $200, and I'd have to do 200 push-ups that day. Guess what? I never did it. One of my coaches one time, she made me write a $1,000 check with the person's name on it. It was the person I would least want the money to go to. And if I didn't do what I was supposed to, she was gonna cash the check, or she was gonna send the check to this person to cash it. Never did. Francis, you got some things you gotta work on today after we leave this class, right? And let's say that you have to go make, what, could you make 10 calls? Could you talk to 10 people today?
Yeah, I could.
Really? You feel like you could?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Francis, if I come up to you tomorrow and I say, hey, show me the people that you talk to in your phone. I want to see the call logs, all 10. Okay? And if there's not 10, if there's 9 in there, what's the punishment?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I have guilt. Like, that'll kill me.
Yeah, how?
I just, like, my conscience wouldn't let me sleep. Like, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, that's what I'm gonna be thinking at night, like, going to sleep, like, damn, I didn't make those 10 phone calls.
Yeah. So is it the way you see and portray yourself?
Yeah.
Would it scare you to have people know that you failed? That you
Yeah.
said yeah? So if I was to say, hey, Francis, if you don't do it, I'm gonna take a picture of you right here, holding a sign saying that I didn't do what I was supposed to do today, so I killed my dreams, wanted for murder. And you have to post it for a day. Would that be painful?
Yeah.
It would, right?
Yeah.
Now, what if I told you you had to do it for a month? You miss it just one time, you have to do it for a month every day, you gotta tag me in it. Are you doing it?
Worse.
See, now you've lost. Because the answer should be, it doesn't matter, JD, because I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't do it, I will stick to what I said I was gonna do.
Yeah.
That makes sense? it's a thing that we do with people. We're like, what's your pain? What sucks? Multiply that times 2. This gentleman wanted to do sit-ups. He wanted to do 500 sit-ups. I was like, you can do 500? He's like, yeah, it hurts, but yeah, I can do 500. I'm like, cool, you gotta do 1,000. He goes, I could never do that. No way, that's horrible. That's what you gotta put in place.
Yeah.
It's not the stuff that's like, oh man, it sucks. It's like, I would rather die than do that, right? So hold yourself accountable in that kind of way. What do I need to make sure this happens? So what we like to say is when you're having accountability partners, always have a time frame. What are you gonna do, when are you gonna do it, and how are you gonna let me know it's done? Any questions on that? Okay, so class is about to end, guys. If you give me just a second, Roy. At the end of class, I'll walk you through how to set up an auto prospect for your buyers or even sellers, and then I'll walk you through where you can find smart plans, okay? Because your homework is to design your own 19 to connect, okay? So it's gonna be 4 calls, texts, or conversations, 12 emails, newsletters, market reports, 2 promotional direct mail items, and then 1 event, okay? So that is gonna be your homework. Take a picture of that, guys, because you're gonna have to do this. Do you have that in your
We have
notebook?
it in there.
Okay, good.
Page 10.6.
Oh, and yours is blank?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so take a picture of this as a sample, but you guys can go ahead and fill in your homework that you have there. Now, when you do these things, should you put them into your calendar?
Yes.
Yeah, put them into your calendar, guys. All right, everyone got a picture? All set, Gloria?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a few things to keep in mind when you're doing your touches, guys. Think of what a good value proposition is. What's a value proposition?
The value that you offer.
Value that you offer, something unique that can separate you from someone. So there's what's called the first responder program. It's financing for teachers, firefighters, nurses, and I think it comes with a low interest rate and a down payment assistance. So you could do a value proposition where you say, hey, look, I am a first responder expert. I'm well versed on the loans that come to first responders. It's value proposition. I like to say, JD, help people build generational wealth through real estate. Roy, did you have a question?
You have to unmute him.
Oh, hold on.
Thank you, guys.
So earlier when you were saying about writing down the people you talk to, putting down leads every day, and you're telling her that she can do 10, you mean by that when you actually get a contact information from them, correct? Not just give them a card, talk with them, conversate with them really long, that you need contact information, or it doesn't matter. I mean for the...
Yeah, it'll depend on your business, but, so let's just say that we're following the success system, which is 10 contacts a day and 10 new people into the database. Yes, the 10 people that you get, you will want to get their information, just because the second part is input 10 people into command. For us all-stars, we don't always, our goals aren't based around getting their information. We just know statistically, if we talk to this amount of people, it'll lead us to this amount of appointments. And so what happens is when we talk about contacts as the all-star group, all it is, what we consider a conversation is a two-way, or a contact is a two-way conversation about real estate. Even if they hang up. So if I call someone and I say, hey, my name's JD, I seen your home came off the market as an expired listing, and I want to know if the offer made sense, would you still sell? And they say, get lost and hang up, I'm smiling because that's still a contact. If I call them and I don't even get a word out, no contact. But I have to have a two-way conversation. For us as All-Stars, that's what we consider a contact. In Ignite, to consider it a contact, I would force yourself to say, hey, look, I'm only going to consider it a contact if I get permission to follow up and I get their information.
At the end, if you could just.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Personal communication. Yes.
So, if, like, I'm going around, I don't know anybody because I didn't grow up here. I'm giving out business cards, I'm communicating with people, and the people who stop and you can communicate with them, there's potential and everything, like you're saying, but those, I give them cards, they can call me later,
They never will.
Things they want to do, but right now, they won't give me the contact number, I don't want you to ask for it. It's still considered that we did it, but how do we know? Just by what the name they tell you, what to write down?
What's that? So I heard you're saying you're having problems getting their contact information.
No, I'm saying, you're saying that even if you didn't get the contact information, you just spoke to them, and you made a conversation, you spoke about real estate, or whatever it is, that's considered something, but how about you, say whatever name they tell you, you just write it, and that's it?
Again, it depends on your objection, your objective. So,
Giving out a card, let's say, in a meeting, because I'm talking about all new people, because I didn't grow up here, so I have to walk up to new people and establish with them, and build with them, and it's from zero, basically. So, that's why I'm asking you, how could you put that as a lead? I could put a lot of leads that I've talked to before in family and everything, but I'm saying new people, if you don't get their contact information, how can you put them as a lead? Because they say their name or what?
I mean, it's kind of hard. If you don't get their if you don't have another form of phone call, an email, a social media profile, an address, then yeah, it's kind of hard to follow up with them. But I still count them as a contact.
Okay.
I just don't put them in my database.
Okay, so the potential for later is also people who said, I'll talk to you later, they have projects for later. So that's also considered a contact, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
You're welcome. Couple things, guys. Personal communication. Make sure you're finding out information about your leads and how you can connect with them. Jason Abrams one time asked an agent. An agent had 10,000 people in his database, and Monica, give me 5 more minutes, I'll be done.
Okay. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And so this agent said, hey, look, I should be getting more business out of my database. And the realtor thought Jason Abrams was going to give him like this secret recipe sauce on, like, hey, go ahead and do this. And he was surprised because Jason Abrams asked him, well, what's their dog's name? Do you think we should know that?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Right? The guy had a list of name and numbers, couldn't even tell me the kids' names. Couldn't even tell me the dogs' names, what they like to do, where they work, what they like to do for fun. So, keep it personable. And then throw statistics and data in there. Do you guys know what the absorption rate is right now? 2.48, I think, or 2.3, something like that. Sold median price, how long homes are sitting on the market, interest rates, what they're at. Potential lead sources, you can call into people, you can do community events, you can do social media marketing, traditional marketing, use your websites. Calls out, statements or questions. Why are you thinking about buying or selling? Tell me more about that. What will that do for you and your family? You can talk to past clients. You can buy leads, client referrals, sign callings. If you have listings, make sure there's a sign because they'll call you. Doing blogs or newsletters. All right, guys. Any aha?
A lot of stuff.
I know. We're going to cruise through this one. This is the funnel, guys. So at the very top of this funnel is your lead generation. Our goal is to talk to the world and try to get them into our CRM. Okay? So you're going to talk to a lot of people, and they're either going to go into leads or contacts. Do you guys know the difference between a lead and a contact? A lead is someone that came into your CRM, but you might not have a relationship built with them yet. Or you might not have talked to them yet, right? Once you talk to them and give permission to follow up, it then becomes a contact. that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you're gonna have more leads than contacts?
Yes.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think it's like a 5% conversion rate. So do think of it this way, out of every 100 people that you talk to, you'll probably get 5 to 10 that will say, yes, you can follow up with me. It'll vary on the type of lead generation that you're doing. If you're doing door knocking, strangers, you gotta talk to a lot more. That's where the 100 rule comes in. But if you're talking to your sphere of influence or coworkers, it's a lot less.
What is your experience with the pay leads?
Love them, give them to me all, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the conversion rate.
What's the conversion rate? They're different for different ones. In general, the conversion rate is usually contact to appointment set is 5%. Appointment set to appointments held is 80%. Appointments held to appointments held to contracts taken is 80%. Contracts taken to contracts closed is 70%, 70-80%. But it'll depend on agents. Zillow leads, 1 out of every 10, a good agent will close. Great agent, 2 out of 10. So you get contacts, and then you cultivate those contacts for conversations. And then you just keep repeating it. Any ahas on this? You guys know the difference between leads to contacts?
Yes.
Right? I think that one gets confused a lot. People think like, oh, everyone that I talk to needs to go into my database. No, get permission to follow up. Okay, guys, we're going to end, and then I'll hop on to Flex and Command. Success systems. What are our success systems?
Command the process like when she gets to where you need to get.
Nope, daily success system right here. How many conversations are you supposed to have?
10.
10. How many contacts do you add to your database?
10.
How many handwritten notes?
10.
10, 5, 1. I think it's 10 likes, 5 comments, and 1 message. I don't know what enrichments are. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what enrichments are. So maybe check with Jason Portillo. I know he knows. If you guys see him, ask him, he knows. I would focus for sure on these ones. Is everyone going to go out there and get their 10 contacts today?
Yes.
Okay. Does everyone want to?
Yes.
Yes. We want to. Whether we're scared or not, we want to because we want to change our lives. I think that's why we're here, right? Is there going to be some challenges?
Yes.
Got to be real with yourself. You know, there could be. Identify those challenges and then provide solutions to those challenges. And what you'll do is you'll move from I want to I need to. Because what ends up happening is you start doing this, you're like, oh man, I got a buyer, I got a seller. Now you want to do more of it. Now you need to because you know it works. I don't like that. Don't call people on the do not call list. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. That's an affirmation. If you're scared about calling people, repeat that to yourself every day. Get a role play, practice scripts and role play for 20 minutes, Monday through Friday. We recommend it daily. It's like a shower. Prepare your list. Who you're going to talk to. Write down your notes. Look at who you talked to the day before. Is there anything I need to do? Send them an email before I call them. Lead generate for 45 minutes. Follow up for 30 minutes. And then celebrate your successes. That is it, guys. For those of you that want to hang out, I will be here for the next 15 minutes showing you how to do reverse prospecting or auto prospect on Flex. And then I'll walk you through the smart plans on Command. Other than that, make it a great day, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, JD.
Yeah. Oh, you say thank you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said, hey, JD. I thought you were going to ask me a question. You're welcome. Okay, guys. I already have my Flex MLS set up. Oh, before we get started, come on in, Mondo. You want to show them?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you already mentioned it. I was running over here, that's why. If you guys have a moment, I shared with you guys all the QR codes to vote for us for AV's Best. You guys are amazing. Remember, if we win AV's Best, that means you guys are AV's Best because you guys are the representation of the office. So make sure that we get it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. All right.
Okay, guys, so I want to show you.
You want to end the recording?
Yeah.